Welcome to the Newcastle United rebuild as they feature in today's episode of Clubs in Trouble. The rules for this challenge are very simple. We can only make up to 3 signings per transfer window. We must use the basic transfer budget given to us, and then we must play 1 full season with the club. We then measure our success with a score out of 10 and determine whether further seasons are needed. Vibe Gang members can have their say on the next club we use in exclusive polls over on the community tab. Newcastle then, a team that is a bit of a sleeping giant in my eyes. Very similar to like West Ham, teams in that sort of bracket. A team that's stadium, fan base, history, branding all indicate that this is a club that could be challenging for consistent European football, but since the recent collapse of a major takeover, Newcastle have basically been left with maximum hopes of sort of like mid-table mediocrity in the Premier League. So let's have a look at the board expectations on FIFA. Domestic success is low. This is a bad sign generally for fan bases. Continental success also low, however financial and brand exposure high. Interesting, only a £29 million transfer budget, which is definitely one of the lower in the Premier League. I mean, I remember seasons where they were competing with Manchester United in the top 4. Look at the difference in that transfer budget. 166 mil for United, only 29 mil for Newcastle United. So we're going to take them over. We're going to aim for a good, healthy top 10 finish. I would say anywhere above sort of 9th, 8th place would be a very good season in my opinion. But as always, if we achieve more, it would be great. Domestic Cup as well could be a shout for Newcastle. So let's see how we can do all across the board. Oh guys, continuing this horrible form I've had in Clubs in Trouble and other series lately. I just can't seem to win the bloody pre-season tournaments. I used to be so good, but apparently we were the worst team in the group stage, and that was decent company, but I would have liked to see Newcastle perform a lot better. So hopefully now we can drastically improve this Newcastle team with some signings. So it's another one of those ones, guys, where we don't have that much transfer budget. So we're going to have to be very clever with our money. And this is our first signing here, which I think fits that bill. So Eddie Nketiah comes in from Arsenal. Now, don't ask me why, but they wanted Jeff Hendrick in return. They proposed this, Arsenal, not me. So whatever Arteta's smoking over there, carry on smoking it. We have taken the young protege striker, Eddie Nketiah, who will now rotate in, of course, with Wilson and Joe Linton, Andy Carroll maybe, up front. We've also made another signing, which is probably going to be our major marquee signing, and that is Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich. So he comes in for 24 million and basically drains the majority of our transfer budget, pretty much all of it in fact. So we're going to now have to look at selling some players, but I think those two are definitely going to strengthen us massively. So considering we have signed Pavard, we have allowed Javier Manquillo to leave to Marseille for £8.6 million. He's the first player that leaves under my regime. Another defender out the door. We've also let Kieran Clark leave to Feyenoord for 7.3 million. So you can see we're trying to get this up to like, you know, sell some sort of average players and get this up to like 20, 30 million incoming, so we can go and make that third and final signing a good one. Now we're going to set Newcastle up in a 4-4-2 system this year. It's what they're automatically set up as, so I'm going to stick with it. Our star quality very much coming from the likes of Almiron and St. Maximin on the wide positions there. They're going to be players that we need to be on good form in the season. Let's face it as well, we've got the compatriot of St. Maximin, Pavard, now at right back, so definitely an upgrade on Manquillo. Let's face it, he is a World Cup winning right back, so very pleased with him. Lewis, another good young player on the left, and then 2 good centre backs as well. I think this is a very good foundation for a mid-table squad. You can see we've already got Nketiah on the bench. We've moved Hayden to a centre back, which I think his stats on FIFA very much suit. Also very tall, so he can play midfield and centre back. The Longstaff brothers in midfield going to be very important, particularly towards the back end of the season when hopefully their rating goes up a little bit. We've got good rotation wingers, like Fraser is a very good player, and some good players down here in the reserves as well. So we still need to make one more signing, maybe in midfield, maybe in centre-back, just maybe a tiny bit more star quality. So Koldalo has left to Wolves. He goes for £11 million. He was our sub-keeper, but we got a number of decent keepers as backup for Dubravka on our books at Newcastle. Woodman in particular. I know he's out on loan, but we can recall him if we need to. Good young keeper. So Darlow does leave and gives us a decent amount of money. Lazar also leaving for 700k. Wasn't going to get a game for us, so cash in time, I guess. And it is with great sadness that I sort of ruin Andy Carroll's legendary return to Newcastle. So he goes to PSV for 3.25 million, just trying to inject a little bit more into that transfer budget to make sure that that player that comes in is top quality. And here he is, just in time for our opening game of the season against Manchester United. We have offered Dele Alli a new chapter in his career, and I think this definitely fits the bill of a player who he just exudes star quality, but also somebody who was ready to move on from the club he was at. So £31.1 million. He's 24. Bear in mind, he's still very young as a football player. He takes a pay cut as well, 60k. He was on, I think, near 80 for Spurs. So he's going to drop in, be our number 7 for the time being, and drop into that midfield alongside Shelvey or maybe one of the Longstaff brothers. And I think that will be a very smart signing for Newcastle United. Just what we need. And Henri Saivet also leaves to Yeni Malatyaspor. I mean, this guy, I remember this guy was like an 80 rated on one FIFA, but he seemingly fell off massively because he's only a 66 on FIFA 21. So Saivet's going to go over to that team for 660k. Not a lot of money, but every little helps, and he was never going to get a game, really, for me in a Newcastle shirt. Another exit then, our squad's getting quite small now, but Federico Fernandez, good player, but 31 years old now, ageing, not really going to improve. And we're already quite blessed in the centre-back department since we moved Hayden to a centre-back. So yeah, we get 6.5 million for him. He's off to Leicester. And I'd expect this to be the last exit from Newcastle, at least for this transfer window, as Matt Ritchie goes to Fenerbahce for 7.6 million. Now, we did actually convert him down to a CM because he's not that pacey anymore. He's getting older, and actually his attributes are more fitting for a centre midfielder. So that maybe enabled us to get an extra 1 or 2 million in that deal there. But he does now leave for Fenerbahce. So I think we're going to end up looking with we're going to end up left with a very small squad, but we'll make sure we get past deadline day without any more exits, and we'll check the squad in a second. So deadline day is done, guys. We are here on the 1st of September. First and foremost, let's see how we performed in the month of August. You can see we actually got a draw against Manchester United. We then went on to beat Villa, Palace and Scunthorpe in the Cup, all with clean sheets. And then we only narrowly lost against Manchester City 1-0 at the Etihad as well. So considering this is our first month with Newcastle, none of the players have really grown in rating yet. That is a very solid return. We've got some difficult games, some tough games that we want to get some points out of in September. But that leaves us currently 7th in the table with 7 points. Only 2 points off the top 4. Very, very early days, but that is a good sign. In the bank then, we have around about 25 million. So maybe if we sell 1 or 2 more players, we could maybe make another huge signing in the upcoming transfer window in January. So we do, though, have a very small squad. We can still, we got some good strength in depth. Like the actual quality of the players we do have down in the reserves is not bad to rotate in if needed, particularly in the cups and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this is a Newcastle team in a very good spot. What I am going to do is go and check the youth academy. A little bit of a cheat code, but if it's there, you've got to use it, even in clubs in trouble. So we've got this guy who looks like he could be very good, Cordelia, and also we do actually need a backup keeper right now. But this guy's not quite good enough. So maybe we'll hold off unless we get an injury. But that is a good foundation of a Newcastle team going into the rest of the month. So let's catch up at the end of each month and see how we perform. So in the month of September, off the back of that Manchester City loss, we did also lose at home to Wolves, which was a tough result. But look at the character of this Newcastle team to come back and win away at Goodison Park. Not an easy fixture, let me tell you, in FIFA. 1-0 there we won. We also then went on to defeat Reading in the Carabao Cup to move on to maybe the quarterfinals, I'm not sure. And then we also beat Fulham 2-1 at home. So took some good points there. 6 out of 9, and also progressed in the Cup. Not bad. So in September, I've come onto the squad hub and just trying to sort a few of the contract details out. So I want to get rid of this release clause in Matty Longstaff's contract. So I'll try and sign a new contract with him. We've also already signed one with Fabian Schär, good centre-back. So he joins us for another 3 years, or extends his deal rather. And then maybe I'll also extend a couple of these boys as well. So Matt Longstaff's release clause has now gone, which means when he inevitably improves as a player, nobody's going to come in and automatically acquire him. So that's good work. To be honest, I don't think anyone's going to meet Paul Dummett's release clause, so we're probably fine to leave that one there. Atsu, we've also signed for an extra 2 years, and he actually takes a pay cut, and it means we might be able to actually sell him now rather than have him agree like pre-contract terms and leave for free. And I think finally now, Jacob Murphy has signed a 3-year contract extension as well, and also takes a bit of a pay cut, so good news all round. Right, 4 out of 5 games won in October with a bit of a weird blip there, a 4-1 home defeat to Leicester City, but then we bounced back after that with a 2-1 away win at Arsenal, and then, yeah, convincing victories thereafter. I mean, 4-0 against Wickham in the Cup and 4-1 at home against Brighton as well. And again, as well, on the third there, Burnley not an easy place to go to, so we're taking a lot of points in this league, which is really good. So I think it's safe to say things slowed down a little bit in November. However, 3 points from Spurs, Southampton and Liverpool isn't catastrophic. I mean, we would have probably liked to have beaten Southampton. If that's a win, then that's a really good month. But that draw against Southampton kind of lets us down a little bit, but still not terrible. So probably our weakest month here in December. We actually did end up losing 3 league games. So West Ham and Aston Villa, both at home as well, where we seem to be struggling for form on occasion. We did lose 2-1 and 3-1 respectively to those 2 teams. Not so worried about the Manchester United loss, to be honest. I'd expect us to lose 2-0 against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Like, it doesn't bother me so much. Good point against Chelsea as well. And some good wins. We progressed to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup as well, which could be a big thing for Newcastle this season in terms of silverware. And then, yeah, got some good away wins and a draw against West Brom there. You know, it's okay. I would have liked to see us take a few more points there, but I'm not massively worried still. And that does leave us at 9th in the league at this halfway point after 21 games have been played. So, yeah, maybe one more win in December and we would have been above Chelsea, which would have looked significantly better on the eye, let's say that. So, we're not miles off Everton there in 5th place. So, still lots of hope, but hopefully we can just maybe turn some of those draws into wins and avoid losing so many to like mid-table teams at home. That's the thing that's kind of catching us out at the moment in recent games. Now, I did expect this, but Joseph Willock has been recalled by Arsenal. Just didn't really get the game time here at Newcastle, and yeah, he's going to go back and probably struggle for game time at Arsenal as well. But whatever, Arsenal. Maybe you can loan him out to someone else, who knows. Well, guys, if you remember, we had a lot of money left over from our transfer negotiations, all our dealings in the summer. And our first signing of the January transfer window is going to be Adrian Rabiot, who's going to really strengthen that centre midfield position. We can now maybe drop Shelvey to the bench and the Longstaff brothers can still rotate in. Rabiot's really for the here and now, so he's going to come straight into that midfield slot alongside Dele Alli. 28 million, 25 years old, French as well. So Pavard and Alan Saint-Maximin, got a little bit of chemistry going there. Really good signing. We're going to have to rely now on recalling some loan players and maybe selling them, like Lejeune and players like that, if we are going to have any more money to sign anyone else. First exit of the January transfer window is Christian Atsu moves to Sassuolo in the Italian league for 2.4 mil. Paul Dummett, another player who has left just to maybe raise some funds for another player. 5.7 million to Real Sociedad, 4.1 added to our budget. So guys, a couple of deadline day swoops here. Just to bulk the squad out a little bit, I suppose. But we have agreed to sign Aaron Hickey, the young, highly rated Scottish left-back. He comes in from Bologna. He's 18 years old, and it cost us Yoshimoto, who we recalled, going the other way, plus 1.4 million. So one for the future, and then another one for the future. Young striker Tyrese Campbell comes in from Stoke for £4.35 million. He's 21 years old, I think about 70 rated, and that basically completely milks us dry on deadline day. You can see we've got that £0 transfer budget with 64k in the wages. So this is what the squad looks like. Apologies that they're not fit. It's a bit of an eyesore for me, but you can look past that. Yeah, so here is the squad right now. We have definitely taken Newcastle up a level to like a team rating-wise that should be challenging for Europa League places. Definitely the top end of mid-table at least. So solid starting 11, very solid bench as well. Lots of good players to come in, rotate and impact. And then also in the reserves, we've now got the likes of Hickey, Campbell, we've got Lejeune, who we recalled, Longstaff and Murphy here as well. So a lot of decent players as well. Overall, we have very much strengthened Newcastle. However, form-wise, we have been good, but haven't maybe pushed on the way I know that this team can. So we're 8th, but West Ham could overtake us even with a draw. So we're realistically 9th if we expect West Ham to take something from that game. Can we catch the top 5, 6 teams? Yes, absolutely. We're only 2 points away from Wolves. A little bit of a more difficult task, I reckon, to catch Chelsea, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. Overall, we're on track. So on the pitch in January, we did okay again. We lost in the cup, unfortunately, to Man City, so we're out of that competition. We lost in the league to both Chelsea and West Ham, but we did pick up wins against West Brom and also against Sheffield United. So kind of split that one in half. We won 2 league games, lost 2 league games, progressed in the FA Cup, got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. So it's a mixed bag. So here's the weird thing, right? As the team is improving, as we're getting better, we seem to be doing worse on the pitch. I don't really understand why. But another home loss there against Leeds. We did bounce back with a victory against Burnley, and then we lost away at Craven Cottage 3-2. So yeah, taking 3 out of 9 points against those opposition, really, that's a 9-point month. So we really underachieved in February, I'd say. Wow, and again, just not good enough. Let's see. Oh, we actually did beat Spurs. Okay, so we had a solid end to March. We did get knocked out by championship opposition of the FA Cup, which ruins our chance of any silverware. So that's already a big no-no. It's a big letdown. Everton also beat us again at home, 2-0. We then bounced back with an away victory at Wolves and a 3-1 victory at home to Spurs, which is a really big turnaround, actually, to win those 2 games. There's some good points there. So 6 out of 9 points in the league. Not a disaster, but still, we need to be playing catch-up and getting more points now than we maybe initially should have out of our remaining games. Mixed bag in April then. We won 3-0 against Brighton on the 3rd. We lost to Liverpool after that, which was only a narrow loss, but still no points taken. We won 4-1 against Southampton, and then that all-important game really on the 24th. If we had taken a point or 3 out of that, I think we would be in a slightly healthier position in the league. But we unfortunately lost it 2-1 again at home, and that means we only take 6 out of a possible 12 points in April. And in May, we did manage to get a 2-0 win against Leicester, and then a 2-1 loss against Manchester City. So let's have a look at where that leaves us in the league table. Okay, so we are in 10th place, a little bit under where I wanted us to be. We're around where I expected us to be, but certainly not a spectacular season, considering, in my eyes, the good business we've done in the transfer market. Our goal difference suggests we should maybe be up towards 6th a bit more, maybe, but ultimately, it's points that you have to accumulate on the board. Burnley, look at that, with a -2 goal difference ahead of us. They're still catchable. If they lose their last game, which is against Leicester at home, so you can see them at least getting a point there, really, can't you? But if they were to drop all 3 points and we were to win, we would finish 9th. Arsenal, however, are not catchable. And that is, again, it just shows that that game against Arsenal was all important. So we are going to play this last game then against Crystal Palace. They are in 16th place, and we're going to see if we can get that chance to move up a place in the league and maybe finish 9th. Let's see. And they've actually made some decent signings, Palace. Their captain, Jedvaj, at right back, Leite and Mittelstadt, Dahoud, Perisic as well. I didn't see their bench, but they've got some solid players. And we line up like so. That's pretty much the strongest 11 we can field, except Almiron currently out suspended, so Fraser's going to come in for him. Here's Dele Alli. Over to Fraser. Acres of space here for Lewis, who's going to try and find Joelinton at the back post. What a header from the big Brazilian. The Newcastle number 9, who in real life has been so short of goals. A massive barren spell. I think he's got like 3 goals in about 50, 60 games. But on the career mode for us this season, he's been pretty decent. Grown in rating quite a lot. And that is an example of his physicality in the 6-yard box. Winning the header with a battle against, I don't know who it was, one of the Crystal Palace defenders, but a great header into the top corner, 1-0 to Newcastle. Joelinton, through ball up to Fraser, who's going to use his pace here. Can he whip it in for a second Joelinton header? Maybe. Oh, Joelinton can't quite win that one. And away it is from Jedvaj. So free kick here for Crystal Palace. Probably too far for a shot, but let's see what they can do. Probably a dummy here, you'd imagine. Oh, it's actually straight at the keeper from Perisic. Nowhere near enough power on that. And Dubravka's going to look for a quick release for the... is this Fraser down the left wing? No support for him whatsoever. He's going to have to try and do it himself. Ryan Fraser Oh, he's been tackled. That was unfortunate. Here's Perisic. Oh, it's a good goal. Perisic linking up with Benteke there. Very quick football from Crystal Palace, and they managed to pull one back for 1-1. Really good football from them, it has to be said. Benteke there to finish it off and roll it past the keeper. We need to work our way back into this game again now. Look at that. Little link up. Little ball roll into, Perisic, who just fired a quick pass through to Benteke and passed the keeper for 1-1. Here comes Perisic. Another chance for Palace. Hayden with the block head from Milivojevic. And Dubravka's going to carry that one. Can we get a goal? Come on now, man. Rabiot into Dele Alli. Can he play that through to Joe Linton? He's going to hold up the play. Dele Alli needs to run off him again. He does. Dele Alli into the box. Can he use his left foot to score the goal? Oh, it's a good save from the keeper and he can't get the rebound. Dele's got to be doing a little bit better there. We've still got a chance. Joe Linton to Wilson. Bang! Oh, it's a good save from Gaeta. We should have had a second goal there. If not from Dele Alli, then from Callum Wilson with a second chance. Joe Linton, again, instrumental in that build-up. Good save in the end. Wasn't a bad strike, though, from Wilson. Let's try and see if we can do something with a corner. It's whipped in fast out from Dahoud. Oh, and it's hit Dele Alli for a... Is that a corner? What's going on? Apparently, we've got a corner. No idea how that makes any sense whatsoever. And it's straight to the keeper. Wait, what? How did we get a corner? So he heads it away there, but then it comes off Dele Alli's shoulder, which is ridiculous anyway. But then we got a corner from that. If this game weren't broken already, come on, man. Here's Dahoud. Are you? Milivojevic into Benteke. Little ball roll from him. Can we get the tackle in? That's really good work from Hayden. Look at that strength to win the ball back. Here's Joe Linton, the Brazilian. Good footwork from him. Look at St. Maximin now, escaping up the right-hand side. He's got 5-star, 5-star, so we know he can use either foot. There's no one at all making themselves available for him. He's held up the ball really well. Oh my God, Newcastle, the off-the-ball running has been dreadful, and it is in FIFA 21 a lot of the times. But in particular, right then, he needed help. And Fraser can't do enough. Still maybe a chance for a second goal before the half-time whistle, and the half-time whistle blows just as we're on the attack. 1-1 here. Palace with a good equaliser, but we really should have had 2 or 3 goals. Dele Alli had a really good chance, and somehow we got a corner from that bizarre situation. I didn't actually check the Burnley score. Let's leave it in suspense until the end of the game. We need to make sure we do the business here first and foremost. So let's see if we can get the second goal and hopefully more. Dahoud in the box here. Oh, it's a good finish. He had so much time and space there. Don't know who was really on him, marking him. Apparently no one. And Dahoud just puts his foot through that. And we could be losing our first ever game played in Clubs in Trouble. I don't think I've ever lost one of the final matches. And, oh my God, what a finish from Dahoud. Newcastle, we've changed them into a 4-3-3. We've taken Wilson off now for young Longstaff. Can he have an impact here? I hope so. Let's get this away. Well done, Lascelles. Now, Fraser. Let's carry the ball. Wait. Oh, Joe Linton. You've got to get the extra touch in there, mate. Right, here we go. Got the ball. Joe Linton. Need lots and lots of support here. None showing at the moment. Longstaff's looking to make a run. Longstaff, who's come off the bench. In for Dele Alli. Dele Alli with his left foot. Puts it in the back of the net. And that sigh of relief was because I was expecting to lose my first ever game on Clubs in Trouble. And I'm so thankful that has been turned around by Dele Alli, one of our signings, because this could have been embarrassing here against Crystal Palace. We still are dropping points as it stands, but that is a glimmer of hope. And Dele Alli, with his left foot, like I said, with a good finish there. Longstaff coming on, making an impact with the assist there. Can we go on and get the third? Come on, Newcastle. Dahoud, who has really been good this game, finds Milivojevic. Tackled, though, by Lewis. Lewis, oh, it's lucky. It's fallen to Joe Linton. And look at all this space for Alain St. Maximin on the right-hand side. Is he going to be able to score it? Alain St. Maximin shoots! Oh, it's wide from St. Maximin. That is not what you expect from such a good player in that position. Maybe should have squared it through to Joe Linton. But I really had faith that St. Maximin was going to bury that. And unfortunately, he puts it wide. Oh no, chance here. Perisic in the box. Shoots. Good save from Dubravka. Oh my God, Palace are not to be messed around with. Roy Hodgson's boys. What is that on my screen? Can you see that? It's gone anyway. Oh, header from Perisic. Dubravka catches it. We've got an opportunity maybe for a counter-attack here. We're going to go all the way out to the left-back position where Lewis is going to have an opportunity. Or who's this running? It looks like Fraser. Is Fraser going to be able to pick this up? He is. This is good football. Joe Linton. Straight through, apparently, to St. Maximin, who's going to... Oh, he's done the wrong thing again. St. Maximin not having the best game. And, oh, look at that. Route 1 football all the way to Batshuayi. Oh, my God, this could be trouble. They've gone for the lofted shot. Lascelles there to clear it off the line. Can we get a counter-attack ourselves now? It's the last dying minutes of this game. Pavard. Come on, make the good run. That's not a good run. Here we go. Longstaff onto his left foot. Longstaff. Oh, Joel Linton gives possession away. Uh-oh, look at all these men forward for Crystal Palace. What shall we do with it? We've really solid defending again from Lascelles. We maybe have one chance here. Longstaff played really well since he's come on, Longstaff, the young Newcastle born and bred boy. Oh, that's really poor. Dahoud's going to... Yeah, Dahoud has been so good in midfield for Crystal Palace today. And I think it's going to end up a draw unless we can pinch the ball right now. Let's get this up the pitch right now, Dubravka. I think that's going to be it. And it is full-time 2-2 against Crystal Palace. At least we didn't lose, but still not a great result. I must say, I must just disclose that I have moved it up to Legendary and Competitor mode on, which in Clubs in Trouble, when I first started this series, I didn't do. But we are going to have this mode on from here on out. So yeah, poor result really. We were at Crystal Palace's ground. We did get a point, but no chance now of... Wait, we might be able to catch... We might be able to catch Burnley. Let's have a look and see if we did. So guys, we didn't catch Burnley, and what stings even more is that if we had won against Crystal Palace, we would have caught Burnley. So this has been a really stinky end to what was a really promising start actually to this episode of Clubs in Trouble. So, wow, I'm going to have to consider all of this when I make my final score. But things started so well, like I said, and then... Seemingly, the better our players got and the better our team got, the worse we performed on the pitch. I mean, this is the team we ended up with, and this is not a team that should be losing to Crystal Palace, if you ask me. You've got 84 rated St. Maximin, 83 Dubravka in goal, 83 Pavard at right back, two very good strikers, a solid bench as well, a good captain, Dele Alli in midfield alongside Rabiot. It should have been doing better. Dele Alli then with 17 goals and Wilson with 15 on the top scorer charts. Did anybody else get on there? No. Let's have a look at assists, where our top ranked player was St. Maximin with 8. And then down here we also have Joel Linton sneaking on with 5. Clean sheets wise, we were way off it. Only 8 clean sheets in comparison to top from Edison, which was 17. So yeah, we needed to be doing better with clean sheets for sure. Ali with a very good goal scoring season, played very well for Newcastle in midfield, to be honest, once we signed him. Wilson as well with 19 goals in all competitions. St. Maximin got a good amount with 6 from that wing in the Premier League, 9 overall. Nketiah actually played all right, to be fair. He scored a few goals in the league, few goals in the cup. Joel Linton, again, I enjoyed playing with him in that game, mainly in the first half, I have to say, but he got 7 goals overall. Almiron 4, Lewis 3, and then these guys down here contributing to the goals. Assists-wise, who got the best assist return? It was St. Maximin, of course, with 9. Yeah, we didn't really get a massive assist there. I mean, 9 is good, but we probably wanted to see more from Almiron, Ali, even though they did okay with 6. Joel Linton, Wilson, and then you can see the rest of the assist providers, guys. And finally then, I'll do it by appearances, so that you can see everybody's individual contribution if you do want to pause at any point to have a look at any particular player. But guys, yeah, a bit of a disappointing end to the episode, to be honest. The second half of the season, where the team actually improved, is where we sort of trailed off with our performances. Man City won the league, top 4, Spurs, Liverpool, Manchester United. Wolves had a fantastic season there. And then relegated was Brighton, Leeds and Sheffield United. And I think we might have dropped points to all of those at some stage. So that was where we really went wrong. Our home form wasn't particularly good. So yeah, that is going to be it. Let's have a look finally then at the team that we ended things off with. And this is how it looked. It should have been doing better than 10th if you ask me. Still, we've built a solid foundation for Newcastle. But there is only one verdict. And that is the season that we just played. So let's find out what the overall verdict will be. Right guys, so a very promising start in that episode of Clubs in Trouble in Newcastle, and then it seemed as we made more signings, as the team improved, it just sort of trailed off, which is quite strange, not something I'm used to seeing in career mode and Clubs in Trouble in general. But I do think we have made some good signings. Maybe, in retrospect, I should have given Callum Wilson maybe a bit of a more prolific striking partner, but I did enjoy Joel Linton in the game, but yeah, perhaps that is where I went wrong. But, you know, we've got to be brutal with this rating. We did drop down the table and ended up finishing 10th, and there were some very important games like the 2-1 loss to Arsenal. Obviously, that game at the end, we could have climbed a place higher in the table with the game against Crystal Palace, and so I just think that we've got to be quite harsh on ourselves. So I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 10. And it only goes up to a 4.5 because I'm actually pleased with signing players like Dele Alli, Pavard. Attracting those to Newcastle is pretty impressive. But yeah, in the table, we did pretty bang average. So would definitely be interested in doing a sequel episode with Newcastle. We got a lot of teams that we've used for one episode that we want to do sequels with now. So I think the next episode is likely to be a sequel. But of course, the Vibe Gang members will vote for it over on the community tab. But yes, a 4.5, and that is going to be it for today's episode of Clubs in Trouble, guys. So thank you so very much for watching. I will see you all next time. See you later.